Welcome to our fact-checking segment, where we dissect the latest fictional tales spun by former President Donald Trump, a man who treats the truth like it's an optional ingredient in a recipe, like saffron or a moral compass. In the last month, Trump has made several claims that are, to put it mildly, completely fictional. We're talking about statements so divorced from reality they make the plot of Cats seem like a gritty Ken Burns documentary in comparison. So, buckle up, dear viewers, as we embark on a magical journey through the fantastical landscape of Trump's imagination. Let's break down these claims one by one with the surgical precision of a disappointed history teacher grading a particularly egregious multiple-choice test. Our first foray into Trump's world of make-believe takes us to the mean streets of Springfield, Ohio, where, according to the former president, immigrants are engaging in a truly bizarre culinary practice. You see, Trump would have you believe that these immigrants, newly arrived in our great nation, are eschewing traditional American fare like hot dogs and apple pie in favor of, wait for it, people's pets. Yes, you heard that correctly. Trump, in all seriousness, claimed that immigrants in Springfield are snatching up cats and dogs and serving them up for dinner. Now, we've all heard of urban legends, but this one is about as real as a unicorn riding a Roomba through a car wash. There are no reports, no news articles, no terrified pet owners to corroborate this claim. This is pure, uncut, grade-A Trumpian fiction. Next up, we have a story that involves two things Donald Trump knows a lot about: dodging the draft and making things up. This time, Trump has decided to grace Vice President Kamala Harris with his attention, claiming that she's got a secret plan to reinstate the military draft. Now you might be thinking, why would Kamala Harris, a woman who has never shown any inclination towards military adventurism, suddenly decide to bring back the draft? And to that I say, exactly. It's almost as if Trump is simply throwing whatever he can at the wall and hoping something sticks, regardless of how ludicrous it might be. Unsurprisingly, there is absolutely no evidence to suggest that Harris or anyone in the Biden administration is even remotely considering reinstating the draft. It's just another day, another baseless accusation from the man who thinks bone spurs is a valid reason to avoid military service. Our third installment of Trump's tall tales takes us to the hallowed halls of CNN, where Vice President Kamala Harris recently dared to give an interview. Now, giving an interview to CNN is a fairly standard thing for a politician to do, but in Trump's mind, it's apparently akin to declaring war on America. Trump, in his infinite wisdom, decided to misrepresent Harris's statements from the interview, claiming that she said something she absolutely did not say. It's almost as if he's never heard of this thing called context. Luckily, we live in a magical time where we have this thing called the internet, which allows us to actually watch the interview in question and see for ourselves that Trump is once again full of it. It's almost impressive, the way he can take something as simple as a televised interview and twist it into a pretzel of misinformation. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this next one is a doozy. In Trump's latest attempt to drum up fear and outrage among his base, he's decided to target one of the most vulnerable groups in our society: transgender children. Now, if you believe Trump, schools across the country are engaging in a nefarious scheme to, wait for it, force children to undergo gender reassignment surgeries. Yes, you heard that right. According to Trump, schools are now in the business of performing complex medical procedures without parental consent. This claim is so outlandish, so utterly divorced from reality, that it wouldn't even pass muster in an episode of The Twilight Zone. It's a blatant scare tactic designed to prey on people's fears and prejudices. In this episode of Trump's Alternative Facts, we delve into the realm of international relations, where Trump has decided to rewrite history once again. This time, he's set his sights on Vice President Kamala Harris, claiming that she, wait for it, supported the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's insane. Why would anyone, let alone the Vice President of the United States, support a brutal and unprovoked invasion of a sovereign nation? And you'd be right to think that. It's completely bonkers. But in the world of Donald Trump, up is down, black is white, and Kamala Harris is apparently a closet Putin supporter. It seems that Donald Trump, the man who built his political career on the racist conspiracy theory that Barack Obama was not born in the United States, has decided to dust off his old playbook and try it out on a new target. Vice President Kamala Harris. Yes, you heard that correctly. Trump, in all his infinite wisdom, has decided to question Harris's identity and eligibility to serve as vice president. This time he's not questioning her birthplace, although knowing Trump that's probably coming next, but rather her entire identity. It's a classic Trump move. When in doubt, resort to baseless accusations and thinly veiled bigotry. In this episode of Trump's Rewriting of History, we revisit the 2020 Democratic primaries where, according to Trump, Kamala Harris had a less than stellar performance. Now, it's true that Harris dropped out of the race before the primaries even began, but that hasn't stopped Trump from spinning his own narrative about her supposed failure. It's almost as if he's forgotten that he himself lost the popular vote in both 2016 and 2020. But hey, who needs facts when you have Trump's very stable genius at work, right? It's just another example of Trump's penchant for distorting reality to fit his own preferred narrative. Hold on to your gavel, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, because Donald Trump is back at it again with his unique brand of legal analysis. This time he's decided to weigh in on the landmark Roe v. Wade decision, claiming that, wait for it, Kamala Harris wants to abolish it. Yes, you heard that right. According to Trump, the woman who has repeatedly expressed her support for a woman's right to choose is actually a closet anti-choice activist. It's almost as if Trump is incapable of understanding that people can hold different opinions from him without being evil incarnate. This claim is so ludicrous, so utterly divorced from reality, that it wouldn't even pass muster in a law school exam written by a particularly dim-witted first-year student. In this episode of Trump's Greatest Hits, we revisit one of his favorite targets, the state of California. Now, Trump has a long and storied history of making baseless accusations about California, from claiming that millions of people voted illegally in the 2016 election to suggesting that the state is overrun by illegal aliens. This time he's decided to focus his ire on California's elections, alleging widespread voter fraud without a shred of evidence. According to Trump, if votes were counted honestly in California, he would win the state, an overwhelmingly Democratic state that has not chosen a Republican presidential candidate since 1988. But according to Trump, he would win. It's a classic Trump move, repeat a lie often enough, and eventually some people will start to believe it. Our next tale of Trumpian fiction takes us to the great state of Michigan, where, according to the former president, he was bestowed with a very special honor, a Man of the Year award. Now, you might be thinking, that's strange, I don't recall ever hearing about Trump receiving such an award. And you'd be right to be skeptical because, well, it never happened. There's no record of any such award being given to Trump in Michigan, or anywhere else for that matter. It's almost as if he just made it up. Hold on to your passports, folks, because this next one is a real head-scratcher. In Trump's latest attempt to demonize immigrants, he's concocted a truly bizarre tale involving, wait for it, migrants from the Congo being released from prisons and sent to the United States. Now, I've heard some pretty outlandish conspiracy theories in my time, but this one takes the cake. It's like something out of a bad spy novel, complete with shadowy figures, international intrigue, and a healthy dose of xenophobia. Of course, there's absolutely no evidence to support this claim. It's just another example of Trump's penchant for fear-mongering and scapegoating. Our final foray into Trump's world of alternative facts takes us to the exciting world of economic data, where, according to the former president, something fishy is going on. You see, Trump is convinced that the recent job numbers, which happen to paint a less than rosy picture of the economy, have been deliberately manipulated for political gain. It's almost as if he's forgotten that he spent 4 years taking credit for a strong economy that was largely the result of policies enacted by the Obama administration. But hey, why let facts get in the way of a good conspiracy theory, right? And there you have it, folks. 12 fictional stories debunked. 12 times Donald Trump has looked reality dead in the eye and said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and invent something more interesting. Remember, always check the facts and stay informed. Don't let anyone, especially a former reality TV show host with a tenuous grasp on the truth, tell you what to think. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more fact-checking videos, because let's be honest, at this rate, we're going to need a whole network just to keep up with Trump's fabrications. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. What do you think about the impact of misinformation in politics today? Let us know in the comments below. Your thoughts and opinions are crucial in this ongoing conversation. We must work together to combat misinformation and foster a well-informed society. Stay vigilant, stay curious, and most importantly, stay engaged. Until next time, keep questioning and keep seeking the truth.